Good evening, good night, and good morning to everybody around the world. Uh, we're going to talk about an important topic today, starting afresh in 2026. Just been, I think it should be in everybody's lips by this time and tongues by this time, almost at ending the year. So we all want to start fresh. Everybody wants to start fresh in life. But there are a few things mm, that are normally overlooked by most of us when we think about starting fresh. And this applies to anything, maybe in your life, maybe in your career, maybe and anything else also. It doesn't matter. Maybe a new business, maybe a new partner, maybe a new thing you want to change, completely change yourself into something like the transformative change. So that's going to be the topic for the day. The, just we're going to talk about the basic psychology and the strategy behind starting fresh. This involves three things, and we as a group have divided that into the three of us. So it's just a kind of a representation of 2026. Uh, it's the dreams time. Always we dream about starting fresh, the new beginnings in 2026. And whoever is watching this or participating in this, wish them all good luck in 2026. That should be coming soon. It's not far. And these are the topics we have divided so far. The basic psychology starting over by Miriam, and building the right mindset for 2026 by Angel. And I will be concluding with the strategy. And having said that, uh, let me unshare my screen and just to let you know that, everybody wants to start fresh. Uh, and we all know that most of the New Year resolutions fail. Most, I think almost most of them. In other words, there is a catch behind that. There is a catch behind that which we don't pay attention to. Uh, we all think about changing, but we are going to discuss about that. Let's get started. And our group, they mention the name below, Inside Coaching Group. If you are really interested, you can join us. You can put some questions if you want, whatever you want to talk to us, or maybe individually to any one of us. So having said that, I'll hand over the floor to Miriam. Yeah, go ahead, Miriam.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet all of you. Today, like we said, today we talk about change, why we want to change in our life, and what's the reason behind, and how can we learn from it, and why we don't success in our life, and why we don't have the change we want in our life. And I believe sometimes we're so used to handle based on our own belief or our right moment, instead to see what can we do different? What's the reason why we haven't that yet in our life? Because everything is connected to our subconscious mind, what kind of thought we have, what kind of action we have. So before we want to change something, it's so important to see the reason why we want that in our life and what will that do with us and how can we change us to become this person. Because, for example, most everyone wants to have success in their life, but it's not so many people who have success in life. But everyone wants that. And what's the reason? Because it's so quite hard to have that into our life. That's why we need to be really clear where is the reason why we haven't that yet in our life. And how can we change our mind so we can achieve the success and the life we want to have and to create in our life. So first thing you need to do is to see what you really want to have in your life. and to also to see what you have already, to be grateful for that you already have achieved in your life. Because when you can see what you have in your life, you attract more positive thing into your life. So when you start your day with gratitude, when you start to be grateful for that you already achieved in your life, it's so much more easy to start to create something new as well. And also be honest to see what are you good to in your life? What kind of life do you want to have? What kind of partner do you want to have? And what's the reason why you want to have a partner into your life? Because no one can make you happy unless yourself. And even if you have success in life, it doesn't mean that you are happy either. Everything depends on what kind of mindset you have and how you see yourself. So be complete honest for yourself. What's the reason why you want to change in your life? And what will that do for you? And how will you feel when you have that already in your life? When you have this part in your life, when you have the success in your life, and how will that change you? And how do you see yourself when you have that? Because everything is related to our subconscious mind. So when you get into yourself, when you look for yourself before it happened, it's so much more easy to create something new as well, to act like this person or have it already. So that is a little bit we will talk about today. How can we see what we want in life and how can we change ourselves? And what's the reason why we want to have that into our life? And also be grateful for the person you already are, that already have achieved in your life. Because you don't need to change. You're perfect the way you are. And there's a reason why you have this kind of longing in your life. But be honest for yourself. What did that really make to you? How do you want to feel when that happened to you? Because this feeling creates a new way of thinking. And that way of thinking creates a new action step into your life. And you will act like this person already. So that's how we're talking about today. How can we make change a reality into our life? And how can we become the person we want to be?
Thank you,
So
Miriam.
you're welcome.
Absolutely
Yeah, thank
beautiful.
you.
Beautifully
Thank you.
presented.
That's good. Now, Angel will
Yeah,
talk to us about the mindset, how to create the mindset.
yeah. First of all, I would like to thank Miriam. It was a beautiful presentation and a great topic, the basic psychology of starting over. Beautiful. I will follow up now with building the right mindset for 2026. Confidence, adaptability, and resilience. And I would like to start with a few words before. We are in a world that's changing faster than ever. And the difference between moving forward and staying stuck is your mindset, as Miriam also mentioned it. In 2026, the 2026 will reward not the strongest, not the fastest people, but the most adaptable, the most confident, and the most resilient people. Today, I want to break down how to build a mindset that allows you to start fresh, grow stronger, and face the unknown with clarity instead of fear. So, first of all, how to develop mental habits that support new beginnings. Every new beginning starts inside the mind. They don't start with action, they start with thought patterns. Before you change your life, you must change your thinking. To reset your life, you must reset your thinking. Here's how a few habits that matter most in order to change your thinking. First of all, you can do daily self-reflection and understanding that what you want and why you want it. This is the first step. You have to know where you are and where you need to go. It's like sailing from a port where you don't know the destination. That's why it's very important also in life to know where you are and where you want to go. Replacing self-doubt with self-direction. You need to replace your mindset, replace the thinking of what if I fail with other thoughts like What small step can I do today in order to move forward, in order to get to where I want to get? You need to adopt a micro discipline. The small wins repeated daily, they build identity and momentum. And be open to possibility. See change not as a threat, but as a possibility. View change as a door, not a wall. In order to view change as a possibility, we need to get out of our comfort zone. Every time we get out of our comfort zone, we feel it as a threat and we feel it as a wall, but it's not actually a wall. We need to develop this habit of going out of our comfort zone daily. These habits create the psychological foundation for your new beginnings. Your mind, reassemble the mind as being the engine of a very powerful engine. Your mind is the engine of every fresh start. If the engine doesn't run, nothing moves. Next, how to build confidence when stepping into the unknown. Confidence doesn't come first. Courage comes first. Confidence follows. Confidence is not something you magically have, but it's something you build by going into your uncomfortable zone, by doing uncomfortable things. When you enter the new territory, you need to remember that confidence comes from action and not perfection. Don't look to do everything perfect from the beginning, but be more focused on doing the action. So take action before you feel ready. Every step into the unknown expands your comfort zone. You need to celebrate the small wins. They compound into certainty in time. You do not need to see the whole path, as I previously said. Just take the first step. Accept that fear is a signal, not a stop sign. Understand that the unknown becomes familiar the moment you engage with it. So this would imply that you need to get out of your comfort zone in order to get more familiar with the unknown. In 2026, the 2026 will bring new skills, will bring new technologies, will bring new work environments. In order to stay ahead, you must embrace uncertainty instead of avoiding it. Things change rapidly, day by day. And we all see it nowadays with AI and other things that have changed. Nothing is certain now anymore, not a job or a skill or any other thing. So you need to get more comfortable of going out of your comfort zone and learning new things. Confidence is not the absence of fear, it's moving despite it. Confidence is not something you wait for, it's something you create. So how to let go of the past failures and adopt a growth mindset? You cannot start a new chapter if you are still reading the old one. A growth mindset and to truly begin means to see the failure as a feedback, not as a verdict. Failure happens all the time. We need to take failure as a stepping stone. We should not consider it something already finished. We should take the lessons out of a failure and then we move forward by not repeating the same mistakes that we did in the past. Failure is not your identity until you accept it as such. You need to treat mistakes as lessons and not as labels. You need not to identify with the past. The past is gone. The future is unknown. What is the most important is what to do at the present moment. You need to identify with your potential. And you need to understand that skills, intelligence, and success can be developed. It's not something that is inherited. Those skills can be learned at any age, and don't let no one else tell you otherwise. You need to be focusing on the progress. and not on perfection. Perfection is not attainable, especially from the beginning. If you look for perfection, you most surely will fail in what you are doing. When you adopt a growth mindset, you need to stop and ask yourself, am I good enough? And start asking yourself, how can I improve to get better? The past is a place of reference, is not the residence. As I said, the past is gone, the present is now, and that's what it counts for. So why adaptability is the #1 skill for 2026? The technology is evolving. Careers are shifting. Opportunities are changing shape. And the world of 2026 will reward the people who can learn fast, adjust quickly. You need to adjust your strategy and stay flexible when plans and circumstances change. And you need to accept change instead of resisting it. You can learn fast by accessing AI, for example. A lot of technologies nowadays go around AI. So in order to move forward, to adapt to new changes that are going on, learn a new skill with AI. You can actually program with AI, you can write a book with AI, you can edit pictures with AI. You can do so many things. So find the thing that you like most and learn using AI with that particular thing. Adaptability is no longer optional. It is the most essential skill you can actually develop. Adaptability means being open to new tools and technologies. As I said before, being open to learning AI, how to use AI and to implement it in other technologies. Being willing to change your habits. And I would like to emphasize here, if you do not change your habits, you won't progress in 2026 nor any other year from now on. Because the most important thing to change what you have so far in your life is to change your habits that brought you to this point. You need to be comfortable with discomfort, and that means going out of your comfort zone. Okay? The moment you go out of your comfort zone, it's going to be a lot of discomfort. So you need to do it so often that it becomes a habit. Therefore, you will become comfortable with the discomfort. And updating your beliefs and strategies when the world demands it. You need to adapt to new skills. You need to adapt to new demands from the people around the world which you serve through your work. In unpredictable times, adaptable people do not break. They actually bend. They reposition themselves and then they rise again. Adaptability turns uncertainty into opportunity. And adaptable people thrive because they don't fight the world, but they move with it. So starting fresh in 2026 is not about having all the answers. You cannot have all the answers. This year belongs to the people who are willing to think differently, who are willing to act courageously and to embrace change. To succeed in this new landscape, you don't need a perfect plan. You need the right mindset, one built on confidence, adaptability, and resilience. You need to have the habits that sustain you, the confidence that moves you forward, the willingness to grow, the adaptability that keeps you relevant. Because your future is not defined by the world. It's defined by how you respond to it. And with the right mindset, you can begin again stronger than ever. Your mindset is the key that unlocks your new beginning. Thank you very much. I leave it now with Sam, who will continue with strategy of starting fresh, practical steps to rebuild, restart, and rise again. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Angel. That was good talk. Both of you got a lot of important points over there. I think the audience will be really interested to learn more about these things, right? The change of habits, the comfort zone, about the gratitude, what kind of partner you want, how to build the mindset, confidence, everything is mentioned. It's all excellent points. I would just like you to take it a little further than normally, which is done, uh, because this is not based on my teachings or anything. It is from the research. Why people fail when they start something new? Why should they fail? Yeah, all those points are really good. You got to change the behavior, definitely. You got to change the habits. You got the mindset, comfort zone. There have been all good points, but I just want to give it a different name to that comfort zone, what people normally mention, because comfort zone is very easy to define. But there is something else that is lurking that is very important, the strategy when you want to start fresh. Uh, the behavioral change itself is not enough because our brains, human brains, are tuned in or geared to follow what we already know. To follow something new, it takes a while. It may discard sometimes. So I wanted to introduce the word as identity because the change of behavior, along with that, you got to change your identity. Identity change is not easy. You cannot do it by yourself. Uh, you need help. And that's the reason we coaches are, and then we are here all to help you how to get your identity changed. Because unless you change your identity, the behavioral change will not stick together. And this has been proved beyond doubt in all the researchers. I do have the papers. If anyone's interested, you can let me know. Because I've been researching this for a while, and um, I do have a full 8 week, the 6 to 8 week program, how to start fresh, because we created that our own. But issue here is that you can change your habits very easily. On average, now the latest research shows from Australia, it takes about 66 days to change. If you do it repeatedly every day, it will take you 66 days. It can be changed, neuroplasticity. But the identity is deep ingrained. It's been there for a long time. You change your identity multiple times, but you haven't changed the identity that you're going to start something new. As you talked about, that's really, those are great points that adapt, adapt, adapt. That's what we have been doing from childhood. We grow, we learn, we adapt. We grow, we learn, we adapt. But when it comes to things like you lose your job, no. So I do have a neighbor who lost his job from IT. As you told that AI is very important, that's true. He did not have any knowledge about it, and he was laid off. He's got a family. He's got you got to give them the daily bread. Wife stays at home, housewife. Children are in school. He wanted to start again. So we do have the local communities here. They give you some training in what you want to be. So instead of taking AI, that this man, he wanted to become a school teacher. He went to the vocational training for about 6 months. He trained himself as a mathematics teacher in a school. He got a job in high school as a mathematics teacher. So he had a tough time because he had to completely change his identity. All the time he has been saying that I work for a software company, so I work for a software company. Now he has to change the identity to that. I'm now a school teacher. I teach Max. And That's a big change. And actually, I talked to him uh, how how he's doing and how did he do all these things. It's amazing that he had a few things he has done, and which was really some information for me. So you can change your habits, you can change the behavior because those are okay. You're doing with your the conscious mind, as Miriam has already mentioned about subconscious mind. Your identity stays with your subconscious mind, and we all have our own identities from childhood. When we take some profession, we become that. We tag that identity to that. And for some people, they tag the identity to their partners. They tag their identity with their children, with their father, with their mother. And they will say that without that, it's going to be difficult for me to do what I'm about to lead my life. So this identity is an important thing, and it's not easy for a common man to do that because we all have identities in us. We have multiple identities sometimes. I don't want to go to that topic that is beyond the scope of this discussion. But for now, I'm just going to skim you through what you could do because almost all the things have been talked by Angel about how you can uh, create the mindset and what to do. But I do have a couple of strategies which maybe you could try and see. And these are proven strategies. Actually, I was debating what to talk about because I got one a simple theory, other one is uh, how to know your identity, how to change your identity, what steps you can take every day to change when you're doing a behavioral change by the side. Those are few things there, but we are just going to talk about the basic steps, what you could do. That is, I call it the practical step to rebuild, restart, and rise, just like a phoenix. Hope you're all familiar with that. Phoenix, a bird which rose from the ashes. You got the power to do that. It's all inside you. And it should not be difficult because if it is easy for people around us to do, it should not be difficult for us to follow through. And those are few things which I'm just going to skim through because we got more information. You could contact us anytime you want. We can give you more information about this. We can give you more information about what steps you could do every day to change your identity at the same time you're changing your behavior. You want to eat less, you want to lose weight, you want to stop smoking, you want to stop drinking, you left your spouse, or maybe you lost your dad, mom, and added to the grief, you also lost your identity. So these are the few things which we all come across in life. And it's interesting to know that we all think that it's pretty easy that we can change, but it's not. It is the most difficult task any human can go through because human brains are not made for that. Human brains knows. It has been watching you, it has been helping you, and it has been rejecting most of the things all the way. It's difficult for the human brain to really to take up to a new change unless you are highly motivated, like my colleagues have talked about. You should be motivated. AI is coming up. Learn AI. That's perfectly right. I think everybody should know AI. Everybody should start using AI, but don't depend on AI. You can use it in a very productive way and get a positive feedback even from AI. That's really good. So these are a few things I put together for today's because I got three versions of them. I thought this is the more easiest one. We don't want to jump into any of the psychology or head into the theory of identity and all the things that's not needed right now. But if somebody's interested, they can let me know, and even my colleagues will be able to help. But how to do things. We want to change. We want to change. So set clear, actionable goals, as already mentioned, and a simple action plan. Learn new skills sufficiently, maintain consistency despite challenges. That's most important. And the last one is what I normally like a lot is called transform uncertainty into opportunity, because everything's uncertain in life. There's nothing that is certain in life. I am talking here today. Maybe tomorrow I'm dead. Maybe the next minute I'm dead. All uncertain. Anything could happen anytime. This is an era of uncertainty. We are playing dangerous games, not only in our daily lives, but also all around the globe. Our game is dangerous. It is an uncertain time, uncertain period, uncertain life. So those are few things I put forward. Most of them may be duplicated because there's a kind of an interwoven stuff. But only thing I would like to say is that life is dynamic. Remember that life is dynamic, and career and personal identities can evolve. Life is always there, but the career and personal identities can evolve. Maybe that's maybe 6 years ago I was telling everybody that no, I'm a medical school teacher, and today I tell everybody that I practice hypnotherapy, because changes happen. It's quite normal. So life is dynamic, remember, but your career and personal identities can, when I say personal identities, not only it is connected to the profession, it is connected to everything in life. Because I know a few teenagers whose girlfriend left them, and now they have tagged their identity with their girlfriend, and they have trouble even getting back into the school and do well in his scores, in his examinations. And their moms and dads that they come to help, but that they look for help, who will help them. So those are things, and that starting fresh is not starting from scratch, as both of my colleagues have already pointed out. Is building on your previous experiences. That's one thing people should know. Don't trash what you know right now, because I'm just going to get into that a little bit more. And the modern challenges, as we know, the digital overload, the fast changing skills, unpredictable environment, these have been explained already. Then, hypothetical question, think of one area in your life or career you wish to reset, and what it might be. And what is the first word that comes to your mind? Just think about it. It's a kind of a question you all can ask yourself. What do you want to reset in life? Don't say the whole life, that'll be impossible. So, why the goals matter? Because it provides the directions, reduces overwhelming, increases motivation. And you got your SMART goals. Everybody knows about SMART goals, and I not say about it, but I think few only know about this 3-level goal system. And this is one of the good systems, because I divide the 3-level goals the short-term goals and SMART for the long-term goals. So if you combine 3-level along with the SMART, you're going to do well, because the level 1 is daily micro goals, and level 2 is a 90-day milestone. And then level 3, you can go for 1 to 3 years. And you could transition there to SMART goals. That'll be a very good plan to do. And I've used this and got results out of it. And the action plan principles, always keep it simple. As already mentioned by my friends, both of them, always have it simple, because but don't complicate it. You need not get into lots of education to do anything in life. Just minimum is enough. Keep it simple. Focus on one step. Build small wins to reinforce the progress. So write one long-term goal and break it into three micro actions they can take this week. You can try this. You can try this and see how it's going to work for you. And then learning new skills, already been mentioned. Stay curious and embrace failure as feedback. Has already been mentioned about focused, deliberate practice. That's very important. You got to practice the deliberately. You got to focus and micro learning, maybe 10 to 30 minutes daily sessions. You need not go for a long time because brain can concentrate only for 20 minutes. You got to take a break because the overload on the conscious mind and the chunking information down. You got to chunk the information down. And now you got what's called the chunking up and chunking down. And I like the chunking down most of the time. And leveraging the digital tools, that is online courses, AI assistants, and skill building apps are there. So there's another thing you could do is choose one skill you want to learn in the next 30 days. Maybe you want to learn something new, or maybe you want to learn singing, you want to learn guitar, or maybe you want to learn public speaking. A creative micro plan, 3 daily and 3 weekly actions to practice the skills. Those will be your everyday activities you could follow and stay consistent when new challenges appear. Consistency is the key. This would have been already discussed. And handling obstacles. Whenever you come across obstacles, identify the triggers that disrupt your routines and build accountability system. And this accountability could be anything, say you can ask a person to overlook or maybe, but the best type of accountability, I believe, is have a mentor, because having a mentor is a good accountability because he's going to track you down every week and remind you that you're not at your the required target, and use habit stacking and no 0 days principle. That's very important. No 0 days. You should not say, not I'm not doing it today, I'll do alternate day, I'll do once in 2 days. No, every day should be the principle for you. And the mindset, it's already been talked about, the self-compassion, resilience, and award system. So list three obstacles that might stop you from completing your goals this week. That will be a challenge for all of you. And what micro habit or anchor can you put in place to overcome each of them? You could try this, put it on a piece of paper and see, and that's going to work for you. And this, what I like is that turning uncertainty into opportunities to a structured reset strategy. That's very important because you need to know that human brains, it likes the structured sets. It doesn't like the thing that is not structured. Have it structured. Regularly evaluate life and career trajectories. Steps to create a strategy. This is what I teach. Pause and reflect. Identify what isn't working. Because we all can identify what's working, definitely. But identifying what does not work for us, what is not working, where am I going wrong? We already said the talked about it by my colleagues, but still, what is it not working? And then define what you want to keep or build. That's already been discussed about, and break into actionable steps. That's also already said. And then the last thing is very important. Test, reiterate, and adjust. Adjust has been mentioned by my colleagues, but test it. Try to iterate, test, go back and see what has the test proved for you. That's the important part of it. Always test and iterate. That's a good thing to do. An opportunity mindset. This has already been discussed. I need not talk about this because the turn the perceived weaknesses into growth areas. That's one thing I normally stress because everybody should know your weaknesses or your treasures. You can turn them into the most growing areas. And I do have a lot of information on that. If somebody is interested, you can they'll let me know. And always leverage the emerging trends, because the world today is not world tomorrow. Because everything changes. And integration, yes, start with clarity, goals, and simple action plans. Don't complicate yourself. Don't complicate. Don't think you need to know everything in the world to start something. No, not necessary. And focused learning, build skills quickly, and consistency wins over perfection. This has already been talked about, because don't ever be perfect. Now, because if you want to be perfect, that is equal to failure. Perfection is the stepping stone of failure. And structured research transforms uncertainty into opportunity. Now, close your eyes and imagine yourself 90 days from now having implemented one key research strategy. What do you say? What do you feel? It may feel like an NLP question, but in NLP, all you do is only the conscious mind. You don't do anything with the subconscious mind. And the conscious mind will take it for the time being, but not on the long run. That I wanted to add, because I'm also I do NLP, but most of the things I don't do much in NLP except for rapport building. And if you're ready to change and transform your life, I can walk with you. I can say that, and I do offer a 6-week program. It's called Rebuild Your Identity, Reset Your Direction, Rise with Clarity. And this is a combo program that has got the neurological application as well as hypnotherapy application. So that's it for now. Thank you. And we are here. You can join us anytime on Facebook. We'll be happy to know more about you and what you do, and any questions you have. uh, we could really help you with, or maybe we can learn from you, because the life is the lifelong learning is always there. And who knows, I might be learning more from you than you learning from us, and that'll be really a blessing for us to learn from you. Thank you so much, and have a good day.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Miriam. Sam, great presentation,
Okay.
very well structured. And for everybody, leave a comment of future topics you want to discuss. And please join us at the future meetings that we're having. So I hope you liked this presentation, and see you at the next. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah. Can